Just one thing about the Giants really quickly. Guys, they're not a 7-win roster at this point in the season. They're a bottom 10 roster in the
It is
NFL, if that.
it is still an enormous testament to them, despite these past few games, to be where they are. Honestly,
There's more film on them. It's easier to match up with your better athletes than the Giants. I picked the Eagles as one of my locks of the week for a reason. I know that the Giants are not a very talented team. They are at least a bottom third roster in the NFL.
and there's really only more room for them to go upward, only because they haven't spent a whole lot on a lot of
Well, they can't. They have Kenny Galladay,
right,
who's
right.
getting garbage time reps with Tyrod Taylor. They have an enormous contract for Leonard Williams that they had to restructure. So now, next year, I think he's getting paid more than Aaron Donald. This is because of Dave
Right.
Gettleman. They don't even have their guys that they've taken in the draft yet. This is
Right.
going to be a long process. The Giants, I think, will be very good in 2 years, but not now.
And like you said, they're unfortunately literally paying, essentially absolving debts that are not their own anymore.
It is.
So it's also like it's unfortunate that there will just be simply time just has to pass in order for these contracts to just continue to be met. The stipulations of these contracts to be met, but that does not change anything about what Brian Dable has brought to the team in terms of like resetting the tone there and finding talented players when people didn't think there were necessarily any to be found.
And they were right not to give up a high valued second round pick asset for Chase Claypool,
Right.
who is not doing well right now on the Bears.
And if he doesn't, at the end of the day, unfortunately, it's a lot of, if he doesn't kind of become Fields as either number one or number two option, it's a lot of value.
A lot
to
of a
have
second
given up,
round pick.
to have given up.
And then you have the guy on an expiring contract. He's been in the league for a while at this point. But anyway, the Giants made the smart play there, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I agree.
They knew what they were. And that is key.